Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS. Let's get to the news. Now guys, if you've been paying attention to the NFL news cycle lately, you've probably heard whispers, rumors about potential moves, new signings, and shifts in the NFC South landscape that could shake up the entire division. And one of the stories that's been catching a lot of attention involves the Atlanta Falcons, and a player who could bring some serious defensive depth to the team if everything pans out. I'm talking about CJ Henderson, a player with a pretty interesting background and a lot of potential still untapped. Recently, Henderson visited with the Falcons, and that's a story that's got a lot of fans talking, especially because it could mean some significant changes in Atlanta's defensive lineup this season. So, what do we know about CJ Henderson? Well, he's just 26 years old, which means he's entering what should be his prime years, and he's got a pretty solid NFL resume under his belt. Henderson was actually a first-round pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, selected 9th overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars. That alone tells you a lot about how highly regarded he was coming out of college, and he was expected to be a cornerstone for Jacksonville's defense for years to come. But as we know, NFL careers don't always follow a straight line, and Henderson's journey has been a bit of a roller coaster. Midway through his second season, Henderson was traded from Jacksonville to the Carolina Panthers. Now, this move was supposed to give him a fresh start, a chance to develop further and show what he can really do. And for the Panthers, Henderson became a regular part of their defense, appearing in 12 games with 7 starts in 2023. He's shown flashes of the talent that made him a top 10 pick, recording 3 interceptions and defensing 16 passes over his career. Those numbers, while not earth-shattering, definitely show that he has the ability to make game-changing plays when given the opportunity. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite his solid stats, Henderson didn't appear in a single game for the Steelers last season, which raises some questions about his current form and fit with teams. Still, his talent is undeniable, and teams like the Falcons are always looking to add secondary help, especially players with his pedigree. The fact that Henderson recently visited Atlanta indicates that the Falcons are serious about exploring what he can bring to their secondary. Remember, the Falcons have been building a pretty solid defense over the past couple of seasons, but adding a player like Henderson could really give them that extra edge, especially in a division as competitive as the NFC South. Now, let's talk about what this could mean for Atlanta. The Falcons' secondary has been improving, no doubt about it. With players like A.J. Terrell, who's been developing into a shutdown corner, and some young talent stepping up, adding Henderson could provide that veteran presence and experience that's sometimes missing. He's had some ups and downs, sure, but his ability to cover and make plays on the ball makes him a valuable asset. And in today's NFL, having versatile, athletic corners can be the difference between a good defense and a great one. But as always, there's a lot to consider. The Falcons haven't made any official announcement yet about signing Henderson, and it's still up in the air whether they'll add him to their roster. Teams often bring players in for visits, do their due diligence, and then decide if they're the right fit financially and schematically. But it's clear that Atlanta is at least exploring the possibility, and that's a positive sign for those of us who want to see this team continue to evolve and improve. Now, let's take a quick step back and look at the bigger picture. The Falcons have been building something special over the last few seasons. They've invested in their offensive line, drafted some promising young players, and have a solid core of skill position guys on offense. But defense has always been the key missing piece. Improving the secondary, especially with a player like Henderson, could be the final piece that turns this team into a legitimate playoff contender, maybe even a Super Bowl favorite down the line. And speaking of the division, the NFC South has been reshaping itself, with teams making big moves and trying to outdo each other. The Falcons know they can't afford to fall behind in this race. Adding a player like Henderson, whether it's through signing or just a competitive camp battle, could really shake things up and give Atlanta that extra boost they need to challenge the likes of the Saints, the Panthers, and the Buccaneers. Remember, the division is always competitive, and every little upgrade counts when it comes to claiming that division crown and making a deep playoff run. Now, on the coaching side, head coach Arthur Smith and defensive coordinator Dean Pease are known for their strategic thinking and ability to get the most out of their players. Bringing in someone like Henderson could be part of a broader plan to bolster the secondary and create more turnovers, which have been a focus for the Falcons in recent seasons. Their defense has been steadily improving, but adding this extra piece could elevate the unit to a whole new level, especially in a league where secondary play often decides the outcome of close games. And let's not forget about Henderson's style of play. He's known for being athletic, with good ball skills, and someone who can match up well against various receiver types. His ability to read plays and break on the ball makes him a threat to intercept passes and create turnovers, something that every strong defense needs. If he joins Atlanta, he could be a key part of their scheme, especially in third-down situations and red zone coverage, where defensive backs often make or break the game. Of course, there are questions, and everything hinges on the upcoming negotiations and team fit. Will Henderson accept a role that's suitable for him? Will Atlanta see enough potential to make a financial commitment? These are the questions that only time will answer. But the fact that he's visited and that there's serious interest from both sides is already a positive sign. It means Atlanta is actively working to improve their roster, not just talking about it. So, looking ahead, Falcons fans should stay tuned because this story is far from over. If Henderson ends up signing with Atlanta, it could be one of those moves that quietly shifts the balance of power in the NFC South. And even if it doesn't happen immediately, the fact that the team is exploring such options shows that they're committed to building a competitive, versatile defense that can keep pace with the best in the league. And while we're on the subject, it's worth noting that this kind of proactive approach is exactly what the Falcons need to reach that next level. They've been working hard to assemble a talented roster, and moves like this, bringing in players with upside, are what will help them turn potential into results. It's all about creating a roster that can adapt, that can match speed and athleticism, and Henderson might just be that missing puzzle piece. In conclusion, the Atlanta Falcons are making strategic moves and exploring new options to strengthen their secondary, and C.J. Henderson's visit is a clear sign that they're serious about improving their defense. Fans, we should keep a close eye on this story because it could really impact how Atlanta competes this season and beyond. The NFC South is shaping up to be a battleground, and every upgrade counts when you're aiming for that elusive Super Bowl. So whether Henderson signs or not, the message is clear: Atlanta is in the game, and they're looking to make bold moves to get back to the top. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential signing? Do you think Henderson could be the piece that elevates Atlanta's secondary? Or do you believe the team should look elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons' future. Remember, this is a community, and your voice helps shape the conversation. I'll be back soon with more updates, so make sure to stay tuned for all the latest Atlanta Falcons news and analysis. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep the passion alive.